The Titan exotic gauntlets, the Ashen Wake, were brought into Destiny 2 at the launch of the Warmind DLC. The exotic perk, Bring the Heat, states that fusion grenades will now explode on impact, and will increase your grenade throw speed. All in all, this is a pretty niche bonus. Having a fusion grenade that detonates on contact could be pretty useful at times, particularly in the Crucible, but its usefulness in PvE does seem pretty limited. Let's take this exotic out into a patrol and do some testing. So you can definitely see that your grenade has a quicker travel time, meaning you shouldn't need to lead your throw as much for a moving target. Also, your fusion grenade will definitely explode as soon as it comes into contact with a surface. Some things I noticed while testing this exotic is that the detonation range of the fusion grenade is very forgiving. You can see that if I clearly aim away from a target, the grenade will still detonate and deal the full damage as if it actually stuck to the target. I wouldn't go ahead and say that the grenades explode on proximity, but I will say that if your fusion grenades just clips the edge of someone's hitbox, it will explode and deal the full damage. Again, it's very forgiving. Outside of this, the grenade should just behave like a normal fusion grenade, as far as damage is concerned. So when it comes to a build with the Ashen Wake, we're pretty limited in our options. We're forced into using Sunbreaker, with fusion grenades equipped, but the choice of skill tree does remain open. If I was going to use this exotic in PvE, I would probably go with Code of the Siegebreaker, since this exotic works with your grenades, and the skill tree offers several bonuses that will enhance your grenade cooldowns, and heal you on a grenade kill. That being said, I personally wouldn't use this exotic in PvE, so I'd be more interested in a skill tree that offers more in the Crucible, so Code of the Fireforged would be my preferred choice, mostly for its molten explosive hammers. Now that we have a build for both PvE and PvP, let's consider the places to use this, starting with PvE. Honestly, there aren't a whole lot of places in PvE where having a faster fusion grenade that explodes on impact would be all that useful. It's obviously not a bad thing to have at all, but to dedicate an exotic to it, fusion grenades already travel at a reasonable speed, have tracking that sticks to targets, and deal good damage. Against adds or bosses, I can't really think of a scenario where having faster travel time and detonation would be the difference between winning or losing. I guess maybe against an angry swarm of Thrall, where you'd want an explosion to trigger immediately to deal with the threat, but the problem there is that the splash damage will most likely kill you, along with the enemy. This did actually happen to me a few times while I was getting footage. An enemy would just rush at me and damage me with the explosion from my own grenade, while a normal fusion grenade would have given me an opportunity to escape. I guess the summary of the Ashen Wake in PvE is that it's not bad, it's not exactly good though, and with exotics like Armamentarium on the market now, probably stay away from these gauntlets in PvE. So now we get into the Crucible, the ideal environment for these gauntlets. Many encounters in PvP come down to seconds, and even milliseconds at times, so a grenade that can detonate immediately could be the difference in some fights. Not to mention, the speed and detonation on impact can be pretty unavoidable for enemies at times, since you can throw a fastball at the enemy's feet for a quick burst of damage, which they won't be able to counter easily, if at all. The reason I'd recommend Fireforged for the Crucible, and not Siegebreaker, is that sunspots have never really worked for me in the Crucible, while the Molten Ember hammers of Code of the Fireforged have served me very well. So would I recommend using Ashen Wake in the Crucible? Yes, I would. Having a grenade that deals high burst damage, travels quickly, has a very forgiving hitbox and blast radius, will be a handful for your enemies to deal with. Try it out with a good finisher weapon, like a submachine gun or hand cannon, and see what you can do. Thanks for watching guys, catch you on the next vid.